In Health Watch, an eye doctor in the Woodlands is focusing on how to alleviate migraines.
He says he's testing for the root cause of each person's migraines and not just treating their symptoms. I met up with a patient who is finally migraine-free and believes his treatment is where the future of healthcare is heading. Clarissa says she was suffering up to 15 migraines a month and had to count on multiple prescription medications to work through the pain.
They would go all the way into my neck, down into my shoulder blades, sometimes down my leg into my sciatic nerve. Very nauseated, hot cold flashes, so I have to submerge my body into a cold body of water. I'm more energized and just able to go through my day without having any worry that something's going to pop up unexpectedly and have to cancel plans with friends because now I have to go home and sleep off my migraine.
Migraines in general are caused by focal inflammation, low energy at a cellular level, and an imbalance of the neurological system, and you link with some epigenetic factors as well. So we take care of all those factors.
I've suffered from migraine since I was 10 years old. I still remember till this day, I was carried to the ER at that very moment when I started having a migraine. And they will completely debilitate you to the point where, for me, I'm just not functional. It would require me to go to the ER each time from the aggressive vomiting that I would experience from the migraine. I had multiple symptoms that occurred: the aura, the nausea, vomiting,
light sensitivity, all of it.
Light, smells. I became like Wolverine powers.
Yeah, and it's so hard because I would imagine the anxiety of you plan something like you're going to have a wedding, and you're not sure if you're going to be able to show up, right? There are all types of things that you're not sure if you're going to be able to make it,
right? Because
when a migraine will shut you down.
Yes, absolutely. I had the hardest time planning. There were times when I would try to plan ahead, but boom, I got attacked with the migraine.
Yeah, because migraines don't make appointments.
They do not.
Yeah, they just show up. Yeah, they're like a bad relative. They show up when they want to. Sometimes when mommy was kind of out of action, you were just kind of left on your own in that sense, huh?
Yeah, one night I slept with her because she was throwing up a lot.
Yeah, you became the caretaker.
Yeah, I was like her little nurse.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good, because my son would say, hey, Mom, I'll turn off the lights and I'll check you later. Okay.
I used to have at least one horrible migraine a month.
Yeah.
And in
between,
between,
you say horrible migraine because you would have other migraines that you just learned to tolerate. That most of us would bring us to our knees.
Pain medication over the counter, several doctors, numerous doctors.
Yeah.
And when I finally came across Dr. Arroyo, I actually found him. I had a migraine right the night before. It's been about 2 months now that I've been going to Dr. Arroyo. Till this day, I have not experienced a migraine.
Now 2 months, fingers crossed. This is amazing, and a lot of people are looking for that kind of help because they've tried everything else and it hasn't worked. So start here, right? All right, Dr. Arroyo. The best way to start treating a migraine is to find out what's causing it exactly, and that cause can be different from person to person. Here to share the treatment that finally got rid of her migraines and the doctor who did it, please welcome Dr. Helio Arroyo and his patient Bailey Glass, along with her mother Becky. All right.
They were painful. They would last like 8 hours, and I couldn't see. Everything was blurry. I would be shut down for 8 hours.
You missed out on life. You literally were missing out on life
missing
and in
school.
pain. Yeah, missing school, which is very tough. All right, so Dr. Arroyo, when you looked at all these things for her, that made the difference, Bailey?
I haven't had one since August.
Since August?
Yeah.
Since you've been out. And before, how often were you having migraines?
2 to 3 times a week.
We have tried so many medications, so many doctors, ear, nose, and throat, neurologists, so many things. And yeah, she was missing a lot of functions, a lot of birthday parties, a lot of school.
Hard to plan for things.
Yeah, it was really hard. I mean, I had to leave a lot of things and go home and lay down for a couple hours and sleep, or, find something to relieve it.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. Can't thank Dr. Roy enough.
I went from having migraines 1 a month for the past probably 8 years to the point where I was physically ill for about 18 hours at a time. And I came in actually for an eye appointment here, and then found out that you also treat migraines, and thought, oh, this is perfect. So I started, and I've only had one migraine in this whole time, and that was it. It was kind of a random one. All the rest have gone away. I no longer suffer from them. So it's been very well worth it.
What exactly do you do? Why is it so different that you do with Migraines No More? Well, we look at three main cores. The neuroanatomical core, that means that there's imbalances or misalignments of the parts of the head in relation to the rest of your body that affects your sympathetic and parasympathetic system, or the autonomic nervous system. The other core is immune. Basically, there are foods and there are other substances that influence how much inflammation you have in your body. You have to eliminate that. The other part is definitely related to genetics. So we are now testing up to 9,000 genes. I don't look at all of them. Believe me, I wouldn't know what to do with that information. But we do put that into a software that allow us to interpret exactly what are the underlying causes from a genetic standpoint as far as your migraines.
I have actually referred several people here and said, you have got to come see Dr. Arroyo. And I just said, it's interesting because the techniques that he does here are a little bit hard to explain. They're unique, they're different, but they are, it's painless. It's almost so simple you don't believe it's going to work until it does. And then you think, wow.
I had suffered with migraines for 30 years. They started about 6 months after I had a bad fall when I was 17. And they had just been debilitating throughout my life. By the time I came to you last year, I was at the point where I was missing at least 5 days of work a month due to the migraines. And I own 2 businesses, and I just didn't have time to do that. And it was a frustration, and I was just tired of being sick all the time. I had tried everything at chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncture, crazy diets that took away all the foods that I loved. I had gone to so many doctors and that had told me different things. It's hormones, it's depression, it's this, it's that. In my heart of hearts, I knew that that wasn't right. I knew that something else was wrong. I could tell that what you were doing was different, your approach was different. It was all natural, it was non-invasive. It was not a bunch of drugs and pills to numb and put me to sleep and all of these kinds of things, but it was actually treating the problem. And you very quickly diagnosed me and said, this is it. I knew then that you really didn't know what was wrong, because I had told every doctor, chiropractor, massage therapist, in a month though, my sleep was better, digestion was better, so many other things, these earaches that I had all the time, those kinds of things went away. And now as the last migraine I had was about 2 weeks before Christmas last year.